Broncos country, what's going on? Hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful day. It's the first day of Broncos mandatory minicamp. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights that the media was able to capture, as well as dissect some of the takeaways from today's first practice. All quarterbacks got work. Courtland Sutton's back. Hey, shall we see some positive reviews on Riley Moss ahead of us? That might be the case. So y'all be sure to smash that like and subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000. And let me know your thoughts on today's practice, what you thought about these things. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with the highlights, and then we'll get into some of the media's takeaways and all that on the practice. So first off, again, a lot of this is credit to Zach Stevens and the DMVR Broncos. Be sure to go show them some love. You see here a really nice pass that Bo Nix had to Troy Franklin way down the field. I mean, plenty of arm strength there, right? Shows that chemistry that he's had previously with Troy Franklin at Oregon. And now we can see Bo Nix getting some work in with Lil Jordan Humphrey. Right in the breadbasket. Perfect throw. Of course, this is against air, so don't get too hyped, but it's good to see these guys developing chemistry all across the depth chart with the wide receiver core. You can also see Jarrett Stidham in the background throwing a pass to who? I don't know. Let's go ahead and move on. Zach Stevens had this other clip of Bo Nix throwing to Lil Jordan Humphrey. A little dig route there, looking solid. You can watch that one more time. Whoops. See again, great accuracy. That's what you want to see, especially going against air. All right, now we'll see Bo Nix getting some work in with Josh Reynolds, and one of our notable free agent signings this year, and could be due for a bigger role than expected. So, nice little pass there. Yeah, I agree with this first commenter here that's saying that's not a dart. I think I would probably agree with them. Y'all let me know what y'all think too. Here's a little clip of Blake Watson just going through some individual drills, showing burst, speed, a little bit of elusiveness right there, dodging that trash can. And hey, those are fairly expensive trash cans as well. So Courtland Sutton got back in and seems like he's got some rust to knock off. Took part in some of the individual drills and then did some work on the side, and probably not pushing him too hard with missing OTAs, getting in back in the swing of things. And I'll have a video later on today or tomorrow morning about his comments, because he met with the media today regarding his contract situation that I thought was interesting. But again, I think now with the top wide receivers making about 3 times the amount of money that he's making right now, I feel like he's on a fair contract. I don't want to see the amount increased. I just think you could guarantee a little bit more of it, especially because his contract as a whole did not have a lot of guarantees. But let's get into some of the analysis. Ryan Edwards here had great little synopsis of practice. He said this: I thought all 3 quarterbacks had some really nice moments today. Much sharper execution overall than last week during OTAs. Stidham worked with the first team offense today and remains the most consistent. Doesn't force things with the ball. Almost has an ability to lull the defense with short completions before finding wide receivers downfield for bigger gains. Zach Wilson worked with the twos and showed a lot more patience than we've seen through most of the offseason. Had 2 really impressive throws to the sideline on out routes that really flashed his arm talent. That's great. That's why we brought him in here. It's because of that arm talent. It's just all about consistency for Zach Wilson. Bo Nix, I thought, had his best day as far as improvisation. Multiple times he changed his arm angle to throw around rushers in front of him, and on the final play of practice, scrambled to his right while keeping his eyes downfield to find a wide receiver for a huge gain. These are some of the things I love about Bo Nix: the fact that he can throw off platform, the fact that he can throw from different arm angles, and the fact that he keeps his eyes downfield even when he's scrambling. And it's not just, oh, my first read isn't open, my second read isn't open, I'm going to scramble, I'm going to run. No, he keeps his eyes downfield. Great to see him showing that. And also great to hear that this was just a great day overall for the quarterback room. Again, I would like to see us keep all three quarterbacks on the roster, especially with the longer regular seasons and the fact that we saw 66 quarterbacks in the NFL start last year, 68 the year prior. That's over 2 per team on average. Keep these guys on the roster. I don't want to see us rolling out Ben DiNucci. Okay? But let's go ahead and get into some of the other bookmarks that I have on today's practice. We'll start with Benjamin Albright, and then we'll go ahead and work our way down. Said, pretty efficient day for Broncos quarterbacks at mandatory minicamp. All of them. Not the greatest day for little Jordan Humphrey. Couple drops on passes he normally gets. Bummer. Mike Kliss saying among tryout players today was Florida quarterback Felipe Franks. He worked out as a tight end, and man, we need bodies at tight end. Some guys like Felipe Franks had, 6'6", right? Real athletic. Maybe he can make the transition. I read this Ryan Edwards tweet for y'all already, so let's go ahead and get to the Riley Moss news. Ryan Edwards said Riley Moss had a really nice pass breakup during team reps today. Step for step with the wide receiver, turned his body to locate the ball and batted it away 20 yards downfield. That's what we were hoping for from Riley Moss last year. Of course, kind of worked out as a redshirt year. That's what we need to see. Zach Stevens doubling down on Riley Moss as well, saying Sean Payton praises Riley Moss for his length at cornerback, versatility, and smarts at the position. He's very much in the mix to be a starting outside cornerback. That's great news. We need high draft picks like Riley Moss to hit, especially that second year, to become a starter on this team. Sire Bettinger said there's a considerable level of renewed energy and charisma from Sean Payton this year. You can feel the youth of this team and his own personal optimism about the way things are coming together through the way he is speaking to the media, in my opinion. I'll link it in the description from Broncos Syndicate. Go support him as well. Gage does a great job. He always live streams the press conferences, and this is one thing I've noticed as well. A lot more positive spirits from Sean Payton at this point in the offseason as opposed to last year. Again, you kind of had to undo a lot of things done by the Hackett regime. Now this is their second offseason going into things. Things are going to feel more comfortable as a whole. Zach Stevens, Bo Nix, and Jarrett Stidham each only had one incompletion at practice today. Zach Wilson only had 2. The Broncos quarterbacks were all very efficient today, took a lot of short completions, no turnover-worthy decisions. Last play of the day was likely the pass of the day, courtesy of Bo Nix. Rolling right, Bo ripped it across his body to the middle of the field for a completion to number 30. Who's number 30? For about 30 yards. Bo Nix only had one incompletion during 7-on-7 and team periods combined. Greg Dulcich was on the side of the field during practice today. He did not practice with the team. Mike Kliss saying, based on 3 of the OTA media observed, Jarrett Stidham was the most consistent quarterback. Bo Nix, a strong second best. Zach Wilson getting his work in as he adapts. I don't think I'm alone in this assessment. Media will watch all 3 minicamp practices this week. And yeah, I think that is very consistent from the other people that we've seen tweet about practice as well. Now, this is something that I want you guys to pay attention to. Bo Nix really put his arm talent on display today at minicamp. On back-to-back passes during a team period under pressure, Nix threw sidearm darts over the middle of the field, off platform for completions. This is the difference. This is the type of quarterback that Sean Payton is wanting here. Somebody that can hit the middle of the field. And that's one of the things that I liked about Bo Nix going through this draft process, is that he's able to throw from these different arm angles to allow himself to hit that part of the field. With Bo Nix, okay, does he have a cannon like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? No, but he's got a strong enough arm and versatility back there as quarterback where he can throw from different platforms, arm angles, all that, to where the entire field needs to be defended for, as opposed to what we saw last year where it was basically the sidelines and the flats. So that's going to put more pressure on the defense to defend. And I think that's really about it, guys. I'll give a shout out here to Mike Carmelini. He did a great series on here on the most popular, the top Broncos YouTube channel. So y'all go be sure to check that out. Our guys at Let's Talk Broncos made the list. Gage at Broncos Syndicate made it as well. So please go support him. But he said, watching his press conferences, I get the sense that Sean Payton is rejuvenated and excited about being the head coach of the Denver Broncos. He'd probably answer questions all day. Oh, and let's get to this one, shall we? Cody Rorick, quick observations from Broncos Minicamp. Nix and Stidham, good today. Nix sharp and quick. Riley Moss, great pass breakup today versus Josh Reynolds. Okay. Nik Bonitto would have had at least 2 sacks in the team period. John Franklin Myers is a force even without pads. And Jaleel McLaughlin certainly looks the best so far. That's what he meant to say. So that is your day one recap here of Broncos minicamp. I think that there's a lot of positives to gain from today's practice, as that should be the case. Again, this is hype season. This is Glaze season. If you're not hearing overly exciting news about the team, that's probably a bad sign that things are not going well. Okay. But the fact is that the mojo seems to be good for the team. Things are going in the right direction. You haven't heard anything too concerning. Again, like Bo Nix throwing passes way over the guy's head, leaving skid marks of the football on the team's facility walls, right? Paxton Lynch. Nothing like that. So, yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts on this Broncos country. Really appreciate you guys as always. Smash that like and subscribe as you comment on the way out, and I will see you guys soon.